Alright guys, Fulu with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. I'll be back with some boxing soon, Right now I want to talk about an issue that, I really feel in my heart that I should leave it alone, but it's just that more and more things are coming out on the issue that, I guess, maybe voices will be heard and there may be some actions that will be done. At the present time, many people are living busy lives and have things to do, so a collective effort is pretty difficult to make. But the reality is, and I want to shout out this sister Gran for getting this information and for really kind of putting the pedal to the metal, in regards to this. Shout outs to her. But in the word of words, carbonation is basically a concentration camp. It has nothing to do with being enlightened. It has nothing to do with finding your higher self. It has nothing to do with being in tune with quote unquote nature. It has nothing to do with getting out of the quote unquote system called Babylon. It has nothing to do with high vibrations or whatever they call it. From what I hear and what I have observed, it is basically I want to say hell on earth. They came there looking for paradise, but instead they found hell. And I want to say it's not really as easy as it seems to be to get out of there. The reality is that things such as sodomy take place there. Things such as child endangerment take place there. Things such as child abuse take place there. We already know that many of the people there are spreading their diseases. Some of them, they came with the diseases. Some of them, they got them there from Nature Boy. And the reality of the situation is that if you're looking for enlightenment, if you're looking for something to drive you, to inspire you, you have to find that within yourself wherever you are. It has to start with you. That's what it has to start with. It can't start by just saying, I'm going to go escape to the tropics and just sit on my butt all day thinking that that's going to elevate me, thinking that's going to raise my quality of life. It's not going to work like that. It doesn't work like that. I mean, for you to sit around on your butt all day, there's a price to pay. And there's a price that they're paying. They're paying a very hefty price. What I will say is this as well. When they say things like, I love myself, and things like that, you really don't love yourself, because any person who did love themselves would not subjugate themselves to that kind of thing that they're going through. In the word of words, none of them have wives, husband and wives, okay? All it is basically that Nature Boy will basically have his cake and eat it too. Sleep with one woman, when he's done with that woman, pass her to the next dude. When he wants that woman back, okay, let me get it back. And then, he really doesn't have any respect for a woman, that's for sure. We know now that he actually brags about, the kind of sexual activities that, he actually engaged with those women. Another thing too is that the sodomy. I think that's how you know this is a satanic person, because he loves sodomy. I mean, he absolutely loves sodomy, and I have a feeling that those women aren't comfortable with sodomy, but since he's quote unquote chief, they have to accept that, And my thing is, what is he the chief of? The only thing he's the chief of is, I would say right now, the chief of, what's a good word? I guess you can say the chief of his pocket of hell, that he puts those people through. The reason why I say it's a concentration camp is because, in other words, they have to have sex when he pleases. They don't have like a free will. Okay, let's go over the particulars of why it's a concentration camp. They eat when he decides they eat, okay? That doesn't sound like freedom to me. That doesn't sound like getting out of Babylon to me, because in quote unquote Babylon, I can just easily go get something to eat right now. I can just get out the car, get something to eat. They don't have the luxury of just getting things to eat. In fact, there's times when they don't even get food. So he's starving them. That's the first sign of a concentration camp. Number 2, sleep deprivation. They have to sleep when he sleeps. They have to wake up when he wakes up. So, because of his patterns, which are like unbalanced and stuff like that, they're not even getting adequate rest. That shows you another sign of a concentration camp. Number 3, subjugation of being in harsh weather conditions. Right? He sleeps in the house. They don't sleep in the house. He's the only one that sleeps in the house. They all have to sleep outside. So in other words, it's like a peasant living situation, That's the puzzling thing I have for those people over there. Why would you go somewhere to live like a internment camp member when, at least in quote unquote Babylon, you have access to the bare necessities? They don't even have access to the bare necessities over there. That's the thing. He talks about this white man this white man that, and he is the biggest white man I know in black skin. He's doing everything that he talks against. He's actually doing it. He's actually following their code to a T. And so this is why I'm puzzled why people still donate to dude. The thing is that I'm just going to say this. When you donate to him, you're an accessory to him. You're actually being an accessory to his foolishness. When you're donating to him, you're donating to sodomy. You're donating to domestic violence. You're donating to STDs being spread around. You're donating to him eating, but not the rest of the people eating. You're also donating to the basically I'm sorry to say it, but you're also donating to the procreation of illegitimate kids, because there's so many whoop 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 switcheroos that they're trying to find out who the father is of these people, you know, of these kids. So when you donate, just be aware that everything that he's doing is going to come back on you too, you know, or in one way or another, it's going to come back on you, you know. Just be forewarned about that. For every dollar you spend with that dude, guess what? You're getting your share too, you know, and it's not going to be a good share. I'll tell you that right now. The last thing I want to say is, I guess he's confused now. I guess he says he's Muslim, he's Christian, he's this, he's that, and the other. If my forefathers were alive today and he claimed that he was Muslim and he did, and they were aware of the things he was doing, he would be stoned to death. He would be stoned to death, okay? Point blank period. He would be stoned. Okay? Without a doubt. Stoned. So him claiming Muslim, he needs to stop that. Him even claiming Christian, he needs to stop that. Because I'm pretty sure in the doctrine of Christianity as well, if he continued on the path that he's going right now, he would be stoned to death as well in that doctrine. Basically, execution would be obligatory on him for all the stuff he's doing in all the canonical texts. So I think what it is he's trying to use Islam to justify beating his women. Don't get Arab culture confused with Islam, homeboy, because in Islam, that word for hit that's translated into English, if you read the Arabic, which you don't know how to read Arabic, I know we know you don't know Arabic, you know, but the meaning of that word is not beat. The meaning of that word is not hit. The meaning of that word basically means a tap. And honestly, through even what my teachers have said, that's basically a tap. When they say tap, you basically are tapping your wife with like a toothbrush. That's what that means. It doesn't mean going Mike Tyson on a woman. And even the tap with the toothbrush is the last result. And that only is the case if she's disobedient. If she's being disobedient, if she's being rebellious, then you go to that. But if a woman is calling for their basic rights, if a woman is calling for their basic humanity and you're beating the crap out of them, then guess what? You would get beat up. Okay? You would be beat up. And I'm going to tell one more thing in ending this video. He said, I think it was on one live stream, he was like, oh, right now it would be nice to be in Africa. Oh, right now it would be nice, have some land and stuff like that. Listen, if he listens to this and any of the members listen to this, we Africans, we continental Africans do not accept you guys. We continental Africans do not want you there. We continental Africans will use our cutlass and machetes to keep you out of there, okay? Or whatever other things we have, okay? We already have enough issues as it is. We already are dealing with colonization as it is. We don't need more colonized minds to come there, okay? So stay the hell out of Africa, okay? That's the bottom line. Stay out of there. Especially stay out of my country. Stay out of the countries that I have family in, okay? We don't want you there. We don't accept you there, okay? You guys are nothing more than Negropeans as far as we're concerned. We don't need more Negropeans where we are, okay? And if you did decide to touch down there, I've already saw to it that you'll be dealt with, okay? And that's just the bottom line. This is the only thing I'm going to say about this whole thing, all right? I'm just saying this in regards to the people who thinking about joining. Think twice about doing it, all right? Because you're going to be into something that that is going to be very hard to get out of, and that is probably going to leave you scarred for life at the end of the day. If you're already hurt, don't hurt yourself even more. Try to help yourself, all right? You can live in tune with nature right here in any urban dwelling. If you have a backyard, plant a garden in your backyard. If you have a room, an extra room, make an altar in your room and just use that to meditate. Just use that for breathing exercises. If you want to eat healthy, go to Whole Foods and ask them what recommendations they have for that. Or Google it and do it that way. Don't go to someone who's doing the complete opposite of what you aspire to. And this is all I got to say, man. Out to the next one. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. I'm out. Jarama.